Today
Right, let's start. Let's go for it.
Okay, guys, so today I have the honorable task of doing the introduction. We're sitting here actually not
New
so,
venue. We switched it
yeah,
up.
we switched it up. Same place. Not a lot of days between the last one. Thinking about what to drink. It's a Monday. We felt like going a little bit classic. Today it's going to be Beaujolais. We had a lot of wines here to make a pick out of. How do we come to Beaujolais? Of course, for those of you who know a little bit about natural wine, the natural wine movement in France, or at least starting calling it like this and doing these kind of things, started for a large part in the Beaujolais with 4 guys. There are 4 or 5. It's a little bit open to interpretation. Of course, Marcel Lapierre. You know the story, or you do not? Okay.
Only actually know Georges Descombes.
Okay, so Jules Chauffet was a winemaker or winemaker's son. I'm not completely into the matter, but I'll do my best to explain. Who was also a scientist, a scheikundige. And he was completely obsessed with flavor, enzymes, and all the reason wine tastes why it tastes. And trying to figure out how to not manipulate those wines to give a certain taste. He was trying to figure out ways to make the wine not taste nasty.
When was that?
I have to really, my history on this is not exactly great, but it must have been somewhere in the 40s.
Jesus, okay, really long.
Yeah, and he was in contact with a Swedish Nobel Prize winner who was specialized in enzymes, and he had a mill exchange with this guy about trying to figure out reasons for taste in wine, or not specifically wine, but what enzymes can bring in taste, and how they are created while making wine. So this guy, he do we need to check the sound anyway?
Sound? What?
Yeah, or did we check it?
Will work.
Oh fuck, sorry, did I just fuck up your editing?
No, it's fine.
Okay, so there I go, like I just kept on going, or you gonna keep this in, eh?
I'm gonna keep it.
I thought so, fucker. So Chauffet started making wines. He started doing the macération carbonique.
Yeah.
To take out as many things that could influence the wine.
Yeah.
He also developed the true tasting glass, the shorter one.
Yeah.
He's the designer of this, and he wrote a ton of books and a lot of publications and a lot of tastings about wine tasting, and he was a true expert. And chance had it that he was very close by the Lapierre family farm. So back, I think it must have been the end of the 70s or beginning of the 80s, when Marcel Lapierre came back from winemaking school. He got in contact with Jules Chauffet, and yeah, they started talking about these things, and he started using some of the tricks and tips and methods that Chauffet figured out to make wine without as much sulfite as they were doing at that time. So he started doing this, got a pretty cool style of wine, got some friends around him.
That was in the 80s.
In the 80s, and I know for sure that one of the 4, I always forget the name, he's not making wine anymore himself, but he's also the guy Lapierre started Cambon with, Chateau Cambon.
Yeah.
Then you have YVON Mētras, and a little bit the 5th wheel on the wagon is Georges Descombes, of whom we're going to taste a super cool white today. So these guys were called the sulfurless gang of 4, or 5, whatever book you read, and kind of set up a movement of guys making super drinkable, honest, great wine. In the end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s, this really started picking up in Paris, later on also in Amsterdam through a legendary wine importer called Helmer Otterman, where a lot of the old school natural wine movement of Holland and Amsterdam started. And maybe it's kind of a cool idea to taste some of these wines. We're not taking the classic ones. We got some more atypical Beaujolais from these producers. And well, let's see what it brings us today. I would say that's my introduction to this. What is your history with Descombes.
I have one big question, because it's a lot of information in such a short time period.
Yes.
You have 4 guys which didn't know each other before, and actually everyone had a different kind of background or a different kind of how do I say, mentality, or what they actually want to go for, and then they actually all meet a little bit in Beaujolais. And then they became this gang of sulfur, or gang of low sulfur.
I think they were all Beaujolais kids.
Yeah, so they all had wines already in Beaujolais a little bit.
Pretty much all of it is family businesses.
Okay, but then at a certain point in the 80s, they stuck their heads together and said like, hey, we're gonna exchange information to make better wine.
I expect, apparently Lapierre was a pretty good party goer, and I think people went there, tasted wine, think, what the fuck, this is great, why am I not making it this way? Yeah. And the guys at first stuck with him are these guys. It's a bit like those, the men in Friuli, you know, Princic and all those guys that started making wine a certain way. They inspired each other, probably. I know Lapierre was the first because he was inspired by Chauffet. That's why they called him always a little bit the godfather of the movement. But in my opinion, it's a bunch of guys that had the balls to do something a different way, and in the beginning maybe they were frowned upon, probably, and after a while they became bigger than pretty much in name, bigger than a lot of their classic competitors, and it must not have been easy to tell your neighbors they're making shit wine and do it completely different. And
it's really funny. I always have this with wine, not especially with natural wine, but always in the wine. They always exchange information and exchange mentalities of where they want to go to. But especially in natural wine, they always want to build platforms. So when you go to, I don't know, let's just say Beaujolais, and you meet a wine guy, he always directs you to the next guy. So you go there and it's like, hey, this is really nice, I like this is cool.
Exactly.
Do you have any suggestions for me? And then it's like, yeah, of course, man, you have to go to the dude Arjan around the corner, and I give him a call and you can have dinner there or sleep there. And this is always how I went through natural wine regions. You know, you make like 2-3 appointments, and because
they have friends.
Yeah, and
this is half the thing of importing. I think, you know, you find out a guy says, yeah, man, there's a guy who worked for me for a couple of years and he's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and it's also similar when you go to a city where you don't know anyone and you go to this one wine bar and it's like, hey, this is a really cool bar. Are there any other restaurants you can suggest? And it's like, yeah, you don't find this in the Michelin, but around the corner in the cellar, there's a cool, and you go there and you have the best duck or whatever you have.
It's cool. Super much the same. And
nice.
But I think, Lapierre started. We have from him, or at least from his wife, Marie, we have Cambon here, which I opened a couple of days ago. I think we're gonna not drink that, because we have 5 Beaujolais here. We have a white from Descombes, we have a Fleury from Descombes from 18, really good. 2019 Chateau Cambon, a wine that I sold a shitload of in my days. We have something quite special, Madame Germaine from Mêtras, which is not his most straightforward cuvée. And I also brought a Beaujolais from him, his normal Beaujolais 2017.
Nice.
And I feel a little bit more on the funky side today, and I think the most...
Pizza delivery.
Pizza. We need to fucking open the door.
All right, let's call it episode number 4.
Hey!
It's Bazanji. 919. Check it, I said this industry is dog eat dog, and y'all sleeping. All these Mickey D's rappers around me that I've been eating, cause I got my city on the come up and they got my back. They've been loving the kid, knowing the work.
Okay, so
feeling better?
I'm feeling much better now. Charged up and ready to go.
Also a small intro while we're having this topic Beaujolais. It's a really good story or good input. When I was working at Wijnskandal for the 15th time already.
Yes, you were working at the place called, what was it again?
Wijnskandal.
Oh, yeah.
And when we planned the trip I told you about last time, where we flew to Jura and we flew to Chablis in the private jet.
Yeah.
We also had the topic of Beaujolais, and I asked Moritz at that time, why do we fly to Beaujolais? He was like, there are some cool natural winemakers there, and I really want to check them out. One of them was Georges Descombes, so we already planned to go there. But I also asked him, like, why do you come up with Beaujolais now? There's so much shit in Loire and in Chablis and all the other regions. And he was like, to explain it to you really simple, if you ever have to sell Beaujolais, Just think about that. In a time, I don't know when it was, 70s, 80s, in the beginning, everyone drank Beaujolais.
Yeah.
There were big Beaujolais parties, and the whole world was
Primeur.
Beaujolais Nouveau.
Yeah.
And it was just fucking crazy. And he was like, that comes from somewhere. There were not many shit wineries there. Or were there. Or
But there's a famous guy that introduced this and made a lot of fucking money on it.
yeah, but there was a time in the 70s or 80s where everyone was drinking Beaujolais Nouveau. And there is a reason for that. So from, I would say, 100 wineries, you can put away 98, but there are 2 really interesting and 1 which is really good. And we have to find this one. And then we flew there and we found Descombes. And then we tried it and it was really, really
no
good.
other Beaujolais?
We tried some other guys as well, but it was actually all not really nice. And Descombes was really good. And actually Descombes from this big 4 or 5, it's actually the lowest one. So when you drink Descombes, it's super easy to drink, but it's never really insanely special. So if you don't drink 5, 6, 7-year-old Fleury or Régnier, which is one of his small thingies, then you're never gonna be blown away as what you have with old Lapierre, old Metras.
No, but I have to say, we just got it in. No, here, let's start with this one.
Let's start with the first one, yeah? Hey, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Really,
note, it's been open since Friday, this bottle.
nice.
And it's Monday today, so...
It's really funny that the people think of Beaujolais, but they actually never think about white Beaujolais.
Put a little map here for all you people at home. Yes, so Champagne, Bourgogne, Burgundy. Then you have Beaujolais,
Yeah.
Rhône, Jura, Savoie.
Okay, cool.
somewhere
And Beaujolais is not part of the Burgundy. Not officially. Okay, I did not know that. I really thought that Beaujolais was
But
a
they
part
also
of
make
Burgundy.
Chardonnay in the Jura. They do in Bugey, which is even more funnier bit between Jura and Bourgogne.
Yeah,
Bugey.
Bugey.
Yeah, so all those more northern bits, they are Chardonnay.
Okay, cool.
But also in Beaujolais, you won't find a whole lot of Pinot Noir.
Okay.
And in Burgundy, you won't find a whole lot of Gamay. So.
Okay. But really funny that no one actually knows Beaujolais Blanc. Is Beaujolais Blanc, do you know that 100% Chardonnay all the time? Or is it Pinot Blanc?
No, I think it's always Chardonnay.
Okay.
In the French, there's probably some rich winemaker that made something else and he got it into the appellation. But I know Chardonnay is, for me, the only whites I had from Beaujolais.
All right. That's our 10-minute introduction barrier. Let's talk about the wine for 5 to 10 minutes.
Cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, present.
Shall I do the first one and you do the second one?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so first wine, what we have today, Descombes Beaujolais, which is not part of Burgundy, obviously. It comes from Vermont. You can also ski there in Vermont.
Yeah, Ben and Jerry's. Ben and Jerry's is also from there.
In Vermont.
It's next to the Ben and Jerry's factory.
Beaujolais Blanc 2018, Descombes Vermont in Beaujolais. Super nice that we drink this because...
really good, man.
Yeah, is it good?
Yeah.
Let's try it. And it's 100% Chardonnay.
Yes. So, apparently...
Ooh, it smells fresh.
My walking encyclopedia, Mr. Henk Struijs, he explained to me that these vineyards used to be owned by the brother of Jean Voyard. Régis Voyard, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And if Henk says a couple of years ago, it's probably a couple decades ago. He took
a couple years ago.
Yeah, a couple decades.
Before World War II.
George de Comte took them over. Funny footnote is that George is not... he's a very humble guy, super humble guy. He, if you go to the... George is a humble dude. He's, like you said, Mêtras is probably now the most respected out of all, together with Voyard. Obviously, Marcel Lapierre tragically passed away in 2009, leaving his business to his daughter, son, and lovely wife. And Georges is just a very steady, sturdy going winemaker. I feel that he really still carries that spirit of very drinkable Beaujolais, where I sometimes now seem to find myself a little bit more in depth with Mêtras and Voyard. Full wines, pretty deep stuff. Maybe you want to keep it for a few years. And yeah, I tasted the Fleury from Descombes last week with a few sommeliers, and all of them were really surprised with fantastic smell, super nice layers, insane drinkability, but still gives you just that idea that he's making something more special than just some other Beaujolais.
So if you would,
the Bouilly is more simple, but the Fleury is really good.
If you would compare
you see how I swallowed my fuck there? I'm trying to be a better man.
If you're comparing Descombes to Voyard or Mêtras,
yeah, it's more drinkable.
What would you say? It's more the drinkability
Yeah.
and the freshness, and a little bit more, not too heavy, more the lighter thing.
Less bullshit, less fluff.
Okay.
I think there's far less oaking. It's just it's more how that guy is, man. I don't think he's really interested by making it more fuzzy than it is.
Yeah.
While, you know, probably people like YVON Mêtras, they are maybe a bit more strict on themselves and want to improve and make a bigger wine every year. And
But Georges Descombes as well.
Accumulates. Yeah, of course, he's a good winemaker, but
Yeah.
I kind of like the humbleness in
Yeah.
the wines. And obviously, this white is not that humble. It's pretty decent.
This is really, really good.
Yeah.
I have to say, you said it's open since Friday. I have to say, when you open this, it is really on the verge from Chardonnay skipping to Aligoté,
Yeah.
because it's unbelievable fresh. It's super
crisp,
easy
huh?
to drink. It's super crispy. It's super like a walnut, and it's
Yeah.
green apple in it, and it's really not on the exotic side, but really on the fresh side.
But open like this, it almost gives a Jura
Perfect.
kind of experience.
It's really good.
With the,
Jura. Shall we go next wine?
Sure.
Finish the Beaujolais at the end for thirst. When do you have to wake up tomorrow?
7:30. You feel like getting fucked up? You can drink it.
All right, wine number 2.
The Madame Germaine from 2016 from YVON MÈTRAS. Probably better there. And I found this today in a box, lying around, getting dust. I felt it would be cool to bring it.
So, Mêtras, I don't know those labels.
No.
That this is Germain is something super special, or?
Yeah, I found first Madame Placard, or Placard, I don't know.
But how is the portfolio of Mêtras? Do you know it?
Yeah, you have just this. You have Moulin en Vin, which
Yeah,
is
of
really
course.
drinkable. I love it. I brought a Magnum home not so long ago, and it was gone far too fast. He has his normal Beaujolais. Well, normal, but his regular Beaujolais. He has Fleury.
Yeah.
And then he makes Ultime, which he does around every 4 years or something like this.
Yeah.
And I had never heard of these cuvées, Madame Placard and Madame Germaine. But I took one home, and Henk said, yeah, but I got a lot of complaints about it because people found it too acidic and it's too rough and too natural. And well, usually that kind of ticks all my boxes.
And you said,
so
I'm gonna buy it.
I'm gonna take it. It was not expensive. It was cheaper than the normal Beaujolais. And I came home, had it, and it was like fucking on fire. Almost like Pinot Donis, acidic,
Really?
peppery, brutal, cool wine. And that was 17 he made with grapes from someone else. They kind of think it's Benoit Camus. And then this is the
Cabezet.
16. I have no freaking idea what we're going to drink, but I know it's not going to be your average Beaujolais. Am I right?
It smells like shit.
Yeah, that's what everybody told me on the internet. Man, but you know what I like about this wine, and what I liked about the other crazy cuvée I taste from. I hope he makes this, because even if it comes into my nose, the energy is pumping, man. This is on fire. But is the you're silent. I'm gonna do it myself.
This is really, really good. Really, really good.
Honestly, again, it's softer than the other one. It's much more mellow. It's of course 16 instead of 17. Jesus Christ! And there's only one more bottle left of this.
Fuck!
Can
I say something? Like we had the first couple of podcasts, and we also drank a shitload of wine for the last couple of weeks, or months, or years. But the wines what we have today, do you know what kind of day today is? And everyone knows those days when you drink and it's like really good, and you're in this tasting mood. Yeah. You have shit days and you have good days.
So,
last week was a really strange day. It was a strange.
You needed to puke.
Yeah.
I wanted to sleep. And there is something about wine that can do both. And now
I have this, especially with natural wine, that sometimes I have days where I'm like, oh man, I cannot drink anything.
Look at the fucking smile on
and
my
today,
face.
Yeah, and today you have wines which are exploding in energy. And it sounds fucking esoteric, and I hate those people. But if you really think about it, you're just in a mood of drinking sometimes, and in the mood of like, hey, today I'm not gonna do it. And today is a day where you have the Beaujolais blanc and the bottle is singing, and then you have this and it just pumps out energy.
Everybody, nowadays is talking Jura and winemakers like Matassa, and even me. And I wasn't drinking any Mētras at all. Maybe you put away a good bottle for whenever you have a good opportunity, or you buy a Ultime. But this shit is so good.
Okay, we got it. There are people watching. Let's take a step back. Let's explain the wine. Why do we love it so much?
Okay, so this wine is light to medium bodied.
Can I start?
Yeah, sure.
First of all, the drinking temperature is key. It really is. We drink this now on perfect cellar temperature, 16 degrees, 15 degrees. What is this? This is pretty fresh.
Good sommelier, yeah.
Really perfect. In the nose, in the beginning, you have really a stinkiness, but it goes away after a second, or when you get used to it. And then you really have this dark berry, a little bit super freshness in it. And when you drink it, it's going in your mouth extremely tight. It's going completely like acidic and mineralic. It completely explodes on your mouth. It gets completely open up, and you have this classic Gamay, cheap fruit, strawberry, and all those over-sugared fruits. And then it completely goes tight again, and it just shoots down your throat. Yeah. And I still have it on my mouth.
Yeah,
and I just wanna, this is what you said in the last time. This is not a bottle to extreme taste or extreme explain everything. This is just binge drinking wine.
Yeah,
binge drinking.
But it's binge drinking wine for people like us, Pascal. It's fucking.
How much do you pay for a bottle like this?
We don't have it anymore, but I think it was like 20 euros.
How much do you pay for 4 beers?
Yeah, exactly.
Binge drink this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Holy shit.
I also, in the nose, I get a lot of like leather and things like this. For me, it's not so much shit. It's more like earth, leather, some tobacco that's been sitting in wine. And you say like cheap fruit, but for me, the fruit, it comes in pretty stringent, and the acidity, it rides in your mouth, and then it puts a blanket of beautiful, perfect ripe, not too sugary, not too ripe fruit, and then it just parks it there in the most gentle way. It's pretty good. I have no more, how do you call it? Niet meer overdrijven.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry. We didn't want it to be a wine review club, and we are never gonna be a wine review thing. But I have to say, this is actually what I love this podcast for. I just love this shit. Buy this wherever you can get it.
Yeah, but if you can get this, I have one more bottle left, but I'm telling you,
not gonna sell this, man.
It's not gonna survive. It's not gonna survive
really,
the week.
Seriously, this is probably one of the. I would not say the best wine, but one of the best bottles I had in the last years.
It's one of the most enjoyable glasses of wine I've had in a long time. And I have to say, I had the...
Did you expect this?
No, because I had the Madame Plassard. It was more aggressive than this. Honestly, it was far more aggressive. And I kind of like the aggressiveness. Also funny, today I sold all that. It was laying around for 2 years. And I took a bottle and then I took it to some people. And we sold today all the bottles of the Madame Plassard twice, because 2 people asked for it and I had to make a divide. And then when I was trying to see how much bottles I had, then I found this, and I found 2 bottles. And honestly, I think big round of applause.
And
But this doesn't compare to anything in Beaujolais for me.
I don't. Yeah, true.
You know,
I'm right.
I wanted to open
I agree.
Mr. Descombes Beaujolais just for us to have a sip or a taste. I am though pretty tempted to now try a glass of the Beaujolais from Mètras, this normal one. Let's fucking do it.
This is
because I want to see.
you're in a bar
I'm
and
telling
you love your time and you don't want to go home and you say like, let's go to another bar.
Yeah.
And it's shit.
No.
You put this on such a high pedestal now, you can only lose.
I know.
Enjoy. Open it.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's 17. It's no, but honestly,
he's gonna lose.
No,
he's gonna lose.
Hey, it's not about winning and losing in this game. There are only winners here, Pascal. Honestly, I've been drinking now this, and I know this is gonna not be like this. But this is a pretty good age. It's 3 years old. It's not like the new shit we're drinking from him. And I'm just curious. I want to see the difference. Can you give me the opener? You're not curious?
Look at this. Look at this thing.
Yeah, we
have to finish it. We have to. Yeah. And what are you doing then?
Okay. Well, then I'll.
No. We can drink it, but you know what I mean. Like now we're just opening, but this is so special that I actually want to give all my focus to the bottle. And if we're thirsty, then
it's not thirsty.
Let's open it up.
I'm honestly curious to see what this will do next to this.
I'm not going to stop you opening a bottle. Of course not.
I want to understand what he's doing. I want to understand if this was his style back then, and that I just only drank 18 and 19, and maybe didn't really like it, or that it's really a different style of wine he's making because he's making it for a different audience or whatever the fuck his choice might be.
Cool.
Yeah, we had to taste 2 fucking insane good bottles of wine, I think, and for me the big lesson of today is don't write off fucking Beaujolais, because you know I don't see it a lot anymore in hip wine bars and in hip places. There's kind of a new group of winemakers going on in the Beaujolais at the moment. I'm really curious how that will develop. I'm not tasting so much of it. I know Marnix has some good Beaujolais and some other people are doing it as well. But today the old guys proved me completely fucking wrong in saying that they might be sulfuring a bit and that they're maybe losing it. Honestly, damn, son. 2
really?
Guys making wine for such a long time and still so on top of their game.
We really picked the bottles, not, I mean, of course, the Madame Germaine was on purpose. We have to try this today, but especially when I saw the Beaujolais Blanc, I was like, cool, let's just take it in, we're gonna try it. And it's important that we explain Beaujolais Blanc, but both bottles blew me away. So today I really have to say those are the best wines we ever tried in all the podcasts so far, in all the 4 podcasts.
No. You think so?
Now those were the 2, one of the 2 best bottles we drank in the last 4 episodes.
To your flavor.
It was better than Ploda Rosenberg, better than Edelgraben, Nero Capitano. It was better than Jan de Rieu Alicoté. It was better than Baubinet Ruben. It was better than...
Yeah, but it was not better, but different than Strohmeyer and...
yeah, true. Frizzante Strohmeyer is until now my number 1.
So, yeah. Emma Pertuis wasn't that bad, but it's, you know, it's a different game. But this is definitely...
but we also talk about energy. And the energy I got out from this bottle is so far amazing. Number 1. But Strohmeyer is until now unbeaten. The first bottle we ever drank is unbeaten until now, to be really honest.
Yeah, but this is the last one until now, and it's...
The question is, shall we end the podcast now, or shall we do another bottle of the thingy?
No.
No, we shouldn't.
Alright
guys, that's it.
Yeah, it's Bazanji 919. Check it, I said this industry is dog eat dog, and y'all sleeping. All these Mickey D's rappers around me that I've been eating, cause I got my city on the come up and they got my back. They been loving the kid, knowing the words, feeling the flow when they going absurd, I kill it. The realest some